Welcome to the Yogi and the Blonde for 2024. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, Michelle. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. I enjoyed that impromptu theme tune. That wasn't rehearsed.
No, but I just like to do things as a fly of my seat of my pants kind of thing sometimes, just go with
Just to be very clear to our audiences, nothing is rehearsed. I made it sound like we've had a big rehearsal and we've planned everything that we're going to say, but no, we don't do that, I'm afraid.
No, we don't at all. We don't. Now, this is our first episode for 2024. Last year, 2023, was our first time doing this. There's a lot of hiccups, ups and downs. And now you're going to start seeing that the videos are going to be next to each other, which is quite cool, which I really, really love. We're using a actual podcast platform. So
We've gone fancy. We've gone real fancy.
Fancy. So it's been a great year, I think. For myself, it's been a learning curve, and I've so enjoyed been working with Michelle. And so we went our own separate ways for a good 3 months, and we'll talk about that just to see. And then we checked in with each other and just discussed about if we want to still do the podcast. And if we do, what do we want to get from it? What do we want to have going through this year? So we've thought up of some great things we're going to talk about. So today it's about our wellness journey. So what has happened is there's things happened to Michelle in her family, and her family value has changed. That value hasn't changed, but her value is family, right, Michelle? I feel like I'm blabbing right now, but I think Michelle's, I'm just going to talk about me for the moment. I have done a big change. I don't live in Auckland, so I am down in the South Island. I did that in December. So it's been a big change, a location. Lots is going on, but I think it'll be a valuable point, which Michelle pointed out, that with us being I'm working in a hot spring wellness retreat, and Michelle's at the gym in Auckland, in Newmarket, so at Les Mills. So it's going to be different perspectives in that way, and the way of what we're experiencing, what we're teaching, what we're learning and growing. And I think that's going to give you guys a nice broader baseline. Now, Michelle,
I love that you made it sound like we've had like a massive falling out or a breakup or something. You were like, we went our separate ways for 3 months. It's like, love, calm down. Everyone's probably listening like, oh, what happened? This is going to be juicy. It's not that interesting, I'm afraid.
Oh my God, I never really thought about that. Look at my face is all red from laughing so much. I never thought of it that way. But
did they
dramatic.
Oh my
we
God.
had been falling out. It was like headbutting. We were enemies. No,
just fight. No, none of those things happened. I'm afraid.
No,
but we have.
No. You're afraid. Are you afraid that it hasn't happened?
Well, no, just to like disappoint the listeners. They were probably thinking, "Oh, juicy gossip," and no, it's not that.
I sounded quite dramatic, did I?
It was so dramatic. I'm here for it. I love a bit of drama. No,
the cheeks
but
sore.
Sally, it's not as dramatic, but we thought actually it would be a good podcast episode to, while Nadia's falling apart, I'll tell you what we're going to talk about. We thought it would be a nice coming back to podcasting for 2024, just to kind of do a bit of a recce on where we are now, because we are literally in different places. I think Nadia's gonna pee her pants. Well, we say we're in different places. I'm actually still in the same place. I'm still where I am. Should I talk about what's going on with me,
Yeah, well,
Nadia,
so I can't have the
while
straight
you
face right.
compose yourself?
I'm struggling here. Yes, go ahead, Michelle.
You do some like private breath work and meditation. Pull yourself out. And I'll talk I guess where I'm at for 2024. So 2023 was an awesome year for me, both personally and professionally. I've done another year at Les Mills, where I'm an in-person PT. That's going really well. I love being an in-person PT. It's fantastic. I have fantastic clients, and I feel like I'm learning a lot all the time. So I'm really happy with all of that. If you know me, or if you have listened to the podcast, you will know that I'm part of a wee family. It's me and my partner and his son. And we have had a big change towards the end of 2023 and beginning of January. So my stepson is very talented as a football player. He's extremely talented. He's 13 years old and he wants to be a professional footballer. And we're currently living in New Zealand, but he has Argentinian heritage. So in New Zealand, the pathway to professional football is not ideal at this stage. Perhaps it will improve in the future. So we made a big decision as a family that my stepson was going to move to Argentina. So his mum, who was living in New Zealand as well, she has gone back to Argentina as well with her partner and my stepson, and they are now living full time in Argentina for him to pursue his football career, which is going really, really well. He is already part of a football academy. He's already playing games. He's already scoring goals. He loves it. He's getting fantastic feedback from his coaches that basically are saying, look, no kid rocks up from New Zealand, of all places, and joins the first team of the academy. And that is what he has done. So he is absolutely smashing it, and we're so proud of him. But we miss him terribly. It's completely changed our family dynamic because our small family has become even smaller now, and it's just me and my partner at home. That we are trying to get over to Argentina as much as we possibly can.
Which you'll be going in April.
Yeah, so my first trip is in 5 weeks. 5 weeks tomorrow. So that's come around really quickly.
That's
and
exciting.
We're hoping to go over every single holidays. So I guess that is what has really prompted the second part of my life update, and the thing that I'm really working on for 2024, which is to build up an online presence for my business so that I can travel overseas, predominantly to Argentina, but wherever we may go, and so that I can continue to work. Because although I love my in-person PT, the reality of that business, as you will well know, Nadia, is if you're not there from sickness, injury, or being overseas, then you don't get paid.
That's what self-employed is all about.
That's what self-employment is like. So it has been my focus this year, and I've actually invested in a business mentorship to help me develop this online element of my business. So that's a really big thing that I'm going through this year in 2024. So still continuing with all of my in-person work, but building up that side business that enables me the freedom to be able to travel and be with my family again. So that's the big thing that's going on with me. I'm still in the same place, but quite a lot going on regardless.
But just because you're in the same place doesn't mean there's not change and stuff happening. Because if you think about it, I'm going to share what Michelle said to me that has helped her in last year by doing this podcast. And this podcast was just kind of started off with, if you guys haven't heard the first episode and how it happened, is it was kind of made a bit of it as a joke. We started off as accountability buddies within our businesses, and then we made a bit of a wee joke about, hey, let's do a podcast. And because I said that was one of my goals, is to do a podcast, and it just flourished from there. And Michelle, it was, I still remember, it was quite nerve-wracking for Michelle because being in front of a camera was quite nerve-wracking for you, wasn't it, Michelle? Now, tell us how doing the podcast, what was like one of the big things that's helped you overcome?
I think if you were to go back and watch or listen to some of those first few episodes, definitely I was very far out of my comfort zone. I didn't like talking to a camera. I didn't like seeing myself on camera. I didn't like hearing my voice back. I definitely felt insecure about what I was saying. Does anyone want to listen to what I have to say?
Mm-hmm.
But I think that with support from Nadia, who's brilliant at mindset coaching, by the way, if you're looking for a mindset coach,
Thanks,
really
Michelle.
did help me kind of come out of my podcasting shell. I don't want to say coming out of my shell because I'm not a shy person, but
No.
definitely it was something that was outside of my comfort zone. And now, I guess, with the persistence, with your help with the mindset side of things, I don't think anything of it now, of just turning my camera on, putting my microphone in, headphones on. And I have a little side hustle podcast, I guess, separate to this
Yep.
now myself, which basically spanned from me working with the online clients that I currently do have, just recording content for them to help them and to answer their questions. So that's kind of where that spun off from. But I would never have thought about doing that and going online if I hadn't done this podcast to, I guess, get really comfortable with it and increase my confidence, improve my confidence with it all.
Congratulations on that, by the way.
Oh,
And what do I
thanks.
say? What do I say about when we allow ourselves to find comfort in discomfort?
Yeah, that's where we grow.
Yeah, I was hoping you'd know that one. Norm, and
Hopefully that was right.
and if you think about it, when we first started, if I would have asked you something on the podcast like this, you would have froze. You would have been like, that afterwards, you would have been, Natty, I wasn't ready for that. And I'm just like, well, it's good. It's good stuff. That's what makes it interesting when it's not rehearsed.
Well,
But
that's because
I
you always
think
used to say, "What are you grateful for?" And I'm like, "Oh no."
no, it wasn't that. It wasn't that. It was just in general, just conversations and stuff. But
Mm.
it's just I love seeing you grow and I love seeing you flourish. So that was awesome. It's been awesome seeing you do that as well. Yeah. Yeah. Well, congrats, Michelle, on the growth. You did lots
Thank
of growing
you.
this year, you know?
And hopefully it continues throughout
It
this
will.
year and into the future.
It will. It will. It will. Now, going back, now that I'm not laughing
I was going to say,
hysterically,
where to begin? You've had
I've
all the changes.
I've had a challenging few years, but it's also been a lot of growth. A growth in a way of a relationship with myself and a growth of diving deeper within myself as well. And that can be quite scary and challenging within itself as well. And so it started off when I moved from one gym to Les Mills, where I met Michelle, and it was right after our module, our personal training module with Les Mills, and I got COVID. And it seems to have like just actually started before that because we were locked down for 4 months. I was on my own for 4 months. That was challenging in itself. Then I'm locked up by myself, sick, like really sick. I was sick for a full month. It was ridiculous. And then 3 weeks into being back at the gym, my dad gets pneumonia. He gets COVID, and my dad had lung disease, and he also Alzheimer's. So he was deteriorating, and I'm like, okay, I gotta go, but I can't afford it. So my parents helped me out, lent me some money so I can go and spend time with my dad. And so I was just like, and then struggling through there. But as I'm struggling mentally and emotionally through that, I'm still studying. That's when I did my breath coaching course, which has been such a great change for myself personally, but then also just that little bit what I've been helping with my clients and introducing that. And it's been such a great thing to have while I'm here as well. And yeah, just going through all that, then started menopause, then my dad passed away, and I just felt like I was stuck in a rut. Even though I'm still evolving, I'm still growing, there's just yeah, just I'm still feeling off. And that's normal to happen where you're learning, you're growing and evolving, but there are other things that keep coming back and challenging you. Now, from there, for a while, I've been wanting to get out of Auckland. I grew up in a small town in Canada in the Rocky Mountains along rivers and lakes and hot springs and stuff. And I had a friend reach out to me last year in 2023 in July, I think it was. Yeah, July. And she says, "Hey, I know someone who knows someone who owns this hot spring wellness retreat in the South Island. They're looking for someone. There's like hot cold therapy, there's yoga, there's all sorts of stuff." And I was like, "Oh, okay, cool. That sounds quite cool." And from there, I went, the exchange numbers and details and passed me on. I was through someone, and then finally met the co-owner. And we chatted for about an hour on the phone. Then we did a video chat. And then I came down for a weekend to give it a try. And from there, I just started slowing and downsizing everything, not slowing, but selling everything and downsizing. And you remember, Michelle, and even before all that happened, I was downsizing before that as well. I had a storage unit and I was like, why do I have this? This is pointless. I use nothing that's in there. I'm just throwing money away. So I've been really looking at my finances through all this and how I'm spending my money because coming with COVID and being a self-employed is a bit challenging in itself, which Michelle gets where I'm coming from on this.
And
And
also
so
living on your own in Auckland, like
I
that's
was living on my own in Auckland. Yeah, that was challenge. I made it
it's not
happen.
cheap.
No, it's not cheap, but I made it work. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's been all just an amazing. And then started heading down, making the moves to head down here. So I sold my Suzuki Swift, got a Honda Fit shuttle, so then I can fit everything into my car. There's only some paintings I left back in Auckland with a friend because I just didn't have the space, and some of the paintings are sentimental more than worthwise. And made it down here. Made a
Can
bit
we
of
just take a moment to appreciate the level of packing that Nadia did in order to save money and not have to hire a van? I have never seen anything so intricate and planned out. She vacuum packed everything. Like everything, I cannot believe the amount of stuff she fit into the car. Every nook and cranny of the car was full of something. And she was like, oh shit, I need to go food shopping. Where's the food going to go? Because there was barely space for anything. I think you had apples rolling around in the corners and
yeah.
it was impressive.
It's just me, just enough room for me, really, like just to sit in my seat. Like I could not lie anything down. I couldn't yet. So I was
good.
quite blessed on that because literally if I didn't have because when I first moved to New Zealand, I lived in Blenheim. So on my road trip, I did a road trip down because I know when I moved to Auckland from Blenheim, I just went zoom, drove right straight up. This time I decided I'll stop at Papamoa, stay with a mate of mine, had a lovely time with her for the night, went to Napier. My back went out, by the way, during this trip. I don't know if anybody is aware that I do have a back injury, so that flared up. So that was challenging being sitting for long periods of time. And then I was in Napier. I couldn't explore Napier as much because I was in a lot of discomfort. I'd go for little walks, but couldn't really explore as much. And then stopped in Laura Hut in Stoke Valley, stayed with a friend there, and then took the ferry across, stayed 4 days in Blenheim. So I've got some good friends and like what I call my Kiwi mum there. And so I left a few items there so I can actually get some food and pack it up because I am living remotely. So where I live is very remotely. There is no power. So they actually do, it's via hydro. Anyways, I'll tell another time another story of where I'm working and stuff. But with that, I moved here, settled in. And it was challenging. And that was challenging, the downsizing, the packing, the sorting out finances, moving again and starting all over. But I don't know. I feel like I'm very comfortable to move and start somewhere new. It's made me think about how much stuff we have. We have too much stuff. There's even just looking at my clothes that I've got right now, and I'm just like, I'm thinking I might do another cleanup. So yeah, but it's been quite emotional as well. So I had a friend of mine who coached me through all this, and a lot of spiritual coaching as well, soul coaching, and I am so grateful for her. And we had sessions every week for 3 months, and she did an accountability check-in call with me as well. And it helped me. It helped me grow and evolve. And because it was a challenge in itself being here and working in a small community, living and working on premise. That's challenging as well. You really get to know people and just learn various things, and which you learn about yourself. And so it's really made me think about I should honor my strengths, and being strong, a strong personality and a strong person is I should honor that more, and I should embrace it rather than hide from it and use it as an excuse. So, with that, I am now living here working. So, I am teaching yoga, I'm doing sauna infusions, helping with making their products, all this kind of stuff, and then also helping in some of the front of the staff house stuff. Now, for myself, I have kind of dabbled a bit with online, but always been very, very scared. But now I'm really honing in and doing some things. I'm also taking a menopause course. So, doing a menopause coaching course. So, I've got lots on my plate, but I love it. I love where I am. And this is also helping me to heal and connect with my dad. My dad passed away last year. It was just a year anniversary last week, or a few weeks back. No, it was last week. Yeah, sorry. I feel like it's been more than that. No, it was last week. And just being here, I would suggest for you guys to follow me on Instagram, Vitality for Life with Nadia. I am going to start posting later on this year more about my life here and my travels down this way. Everything. I've gone radio silence actually on social media, and I think that's okay. I've got other things I'm processing that's a little bit more important at the moment, and setting some things up, and working with my clients as well online. So I've got online clients as well. So I just want to keep building that up. So yeah, it's been quite of a challenged road. I've gone through certainly some ups and downs, some questioning of what I'm doing. Am I doing the right thing? Am I in the right place? Questioning about myself, my personality, and where I'm at, and my soul, my true self. It's quite deep, and I'm not going to go. I think I've blabbed on enough about that, but maybe another time, another episode. But it's been
it's interesting.
Certainly an interesting challenge, but a good one, a good growth.
I want you to tell the story about was it tarot reading that you had, or the cards or something? And they said about the place surrounded by hot water or something, and you interpreted it initially as being in Auckland, but now it makes more sense.
That one. Okay. So living in Blenheim, I met this lovely lady. She's clairvoyant, so lovely. And she hits things on the nose. Like she's hit things on the nose about here. I've had some readings on my way through to Maria Hot Springs, which is where I am, Maria. And anyways, she said to me like a long time ago when I was living in Blenheim, she says, I see you living somewhere surrounded by water, by like bubbling hot water, and I see you happy there. And I thought it was Auckland, because I was thinking when I got to Auckland is surrounded by water. You got the geysers and stuff like that. But when I was like reminiscing with her after a session, I was reminiscing with her, and I said, you know what? It's where I'm going, because I'm surrounded by hot pools, because I'm in a hot spring, and we've got a river running along here and stuff like that. So it just made sense, and it was just like, so sometimes when somebody gives you a premonition or anything like that, it might not be like within that year. It might be 10 years down the road.
And how we interpret these things to
Mm-hmm.
fit into the narrative. Because I remember you telling me that story when you lived in Auckland, and I was like, hot springs aren't that close, but sure. And then this opportunity came up, and it was like, hang on, that sounds
More
much
like
more
it.
like it. Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember when all of that was happening, when that opportunity came up out of the blue. And I remember it was at a time when you were even considering moving over to Australia.
Yeah.
You had your eyes open to opportunities, and then it came along, and it just felt like it was perfect for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
It was
It's been
amazing.
challenging though, like getting here, getting settled here, and going from, solely working for myself to now I've got a schedule. On top of that, I've got my other stuff online and my clients and all that stuff as well. So it's just like, yeah, it was quite interesting just to see that. And maybe one other day we can really dive a bit more deep into it. But today I just thought we would just touch base and say, hello, guys. We haven't forgot about you guys. Keep it short and sweet and just let you guys know that we're still here and that we're coming back. We're going to come back we've got some good ideas coming up on things we're going to discuss. And we would love for you guys to actually send us a message to our email, to our Instagram, or personally if you want, if you've got our details or you're following us on other social media, either Michelle or myself, do it. Let us know what you guys want to hear. Well, let us know what you like, what you didn't like. Let us know what your takeaway was. Is there anything that you resonated with? Yeah, because I think it's going to be a good year. And we're looking at the moment of every other week is when we're going to record and hopefully drop it sooner than later. With the system, it should be a lot easier to edit because I had some issues. I think it was about 2 episodes we recorded at the end of last year, and they gone, bye-bye, see you. So we are going to re-record those.
Yes, because they were really good episodes.
Yeah, they were. They were.
Yeah,
so
we think that us combined, we haven't broken up. We're still here. And actually having my, I guess, in-person, more traditional approach, and also Nadia's more holistic approach and all of the things that she's doing down at the Springs there. Us combined, I think, gives a really nice holistic opinions to the wellness space that we work within. So yeah, we definitely want to keep this going on, and we definitely want to talk about things that people want to hear. Maybe they want to hear our opinions. Sometimes we might differ or we might have different takes on things, but I think that's right. where the value lies.
Yeah. And to be honest, I don't think there's always, it's not that I'm right or Michelle's right. It's just difference of opinion, different experience. Just like I was saying to someone, I'll never know even if there's an experience that I've gone through, similar to Michelle, I'll never know what Michelle experienced because I'll never be in her shoes, and vice versa. She'll never be in my shoes, so she won't know exactly how I feel and what it went through, but she'll have an idea. She'll have an understanding, but she'll never know. And I think that's something to think about when we look at health and wellness. There's all these things, and for everyone, you just got to find what's going to work for you. And it's a trial and error. And having a coach, having a personal trainer, having a nutrition coach, a yoga teacher, whoever you resonate with, and just try to find what's going to work for you. Because I'm not one. I was talking to someone and they said they got this freebie coaching thing, and when she was asking her, well, this doesn't work, or why am I doing this? Why did you increase this? Which she had every right to question about, because she's trying to, by someone asking questions, they're trying to learn, right? And this person was like, don't ask me questions, just do what I tell you and stuff. And I was just like, wow, that's really dictatorship. That person, like, she knows her body best, so she knows what's going to work for her, rather than having a cookie cutter thing. Like, you can pick up skills, don't get me wrong, you'll learn skills and stuff like through your business coach mentoring, I'm sure that they teach things similar to everybody, but how you apply and you take it on will be different, but it's still a good skill set. It was about educating, but not making this is what you need to do. Well, maybe you might have to tweak it, or you might take a part of it and utilize it. I don't know. That's how I learn. That's how I all want my clients to be, and how I hope people pick it up. What about you, Michelle?
No, and I think, yeah, that's what I mean about us both having different viewpoints coming from different spaces, because you might pick up something that you say and something that I say and go, oh,
You
cool, yeah, that
combine
makes
them
sense.
together.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm,
that works for me. So,
yeah.
yeah, power.
Pow, 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 pow. Okay. I think that's all
Hey,
from the Yogi and the.
the blonde.
I hope I pointed out that, yeah, I pointed towards the right way. This way, which way is she? Okay,
We'll find
guys.
out.
I hope
Thanks
you
for
guys
tuning in.
yeah, thanks for let me try that again. Thanks for tuning in, and we remember to comment, share, like, and spread the word. See you guys next time. Peace out.
Bye.